We all know school looks a lot different this year. Students have had to adjust during this pandemic like all of us, and with that comes a lot of stress and uncertainty.
Absolutely. Amani Abraham talked to students and staff earlier this week about why one local school district is dedicating today's school day to educate its students about mental health.
Class is still in session, but instead of the traditional coursework this Friday, Barberton students and staff will be focusing on mental health.
We needed to take a little pause because I am so worried about everybody, and to see if we can do anything to help them manage the stress in their lives.
Barberton Superintendent Jeff Ramnitz says Friday will be dedicated to offering support for students who may be dealing with added stress amid the pandemic. For these high school students, it began with the shift to online learning.
Going online was very hard, and at first I was very stressed.
Being online, it was so hard for me to focus.
A study by the American Psychological Association showed that about 80% of Gen Z teens between the ages of 13 and 17 reported that they have been negatively impacted due to school closures as a result of the pandemic. Students we spoke to say returning to in-person classes had its own challenges too.
School is very different. We have to wear masks. We have to try our best to social distance.
On Friday, students will set aside the textbooks and go online to learn remotely from health professionals on how to handle stress and anxiety.
It's important to address because if people are sad, they're not going to be getting their schoolwork done. And for sports too, they're not going to really be putting as much effort into it because they're distracted.
Jonathan Greer with Red Oak Behavioral Health will be working with students. Virtual courses will be set up with topics ranging from coping with stress to identifying signs of depression.
I feel like it's really a duty of a community member to look out for one another, and that's what this day is all about, coming up on November 13th.
It's not just for students this Friday. There will also be resources and training for staff members to help students and their families. Amani Abraham, 3 News.
I love the fact that this is happening, and I feel like more school districts should do the same, to allow especially young people to be open and honest about how they're feeling and getting that help that they need. And, Jay, researchers saying it's really unclear what the short and long-term effects of this pandemic, what it's going to have on these children in the future.
Yeah, that's a great point. We don't know what the long-term impact will be on America's youth. I mean, think about it. If you're in first grade, your kindergarten experience last year was disrupted with this virus, and most of your first grade year this year has been disrupted. It'll be interesting to see how we adjust, because it clearly is going to have an impact on America's young people. Hopefully we're ready to deal with it.
Yeah, it's going to impact us all, I think, well into the future, definitely. Absolutely.